Cue the intro music. Wake up in the morning. Thank God I'm alive. It's another chance for me to be a part of the good life. Yes, I am excited, fired up, and ready for another great day of the good life. And today I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm so excited. Hello, my name is Steve Welty. I'm the owner-broker of Good Life Property Management. And I'm excited today because I am blessed to own rental real estate in America's finest city, San Diego, California. And you might say, well, Steve, why are you so fired up? It can be a headache, right, owning rental property? But rental real estate is an extremely powerful investment tool. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why. Some interesting things that you may not have thought about. So here we go. Whiteboard here, power of rental real estate. Number 1 is write-offs and especially, I should say, depreciation. Now you might say, what is depreciation, Steve? Maybe you've heard that term. How does it work with rental real estate? So let me explain. So the government lets you depreciate the house that you own or the apartment building. Give it a little door, a couple windows. There you go. 27 and a half years. So basically the government says in the tax code that after 27 and a half years, your house will be rubble and it will be worth nothing. But the cool part is that's not true. But you still get this write-off. So how this works is you have your house and then you have the lot the house is on. If you look at your tax bill, the house is always going to have a value. Let's say $300,000. And then on the other part of your tax bill, it's going to have a value for the lot. And let's say the lot is $100,000. So you don't get to depreciate the lot because that's dirt, that's already rubble in the government's eyes. But you do get to depreciate the house. So what you get to do is divide $300,000 by 27 and a half years. So I don't have my calculator handy, but oh, here it is. Let me grab it. So if you do that, let's take a look at the numbers. 300,000 divided by 27.5. It's almost 11,000 bucks. 11,000 bucks that you get to write off your income every year. Now, talk to your CPA because if you're in a certain tax bracket, it's very complicated and way too long for this video, but it affects everyone differently depending on your situation. But on the surface, you get to write that off your income. So let's say you're in a 25% tax bracket. That's over $2,500 cash savings, right? Because if you take 25% of roughly 10 grand is what I'm doing. 2,500 bucks. So, and you get to do that every year. Now, when you go to sell, there's depreciation recapture, but for the time being, you get amazing tax savings, and that's just one aspect of the power of real estate when it comes to write-offs. Then you still have your management fee, any repairs, any capital expenditures, all those other write-offs. So tons of write-offs you get to write off your income, saves you a ton of money. Government wants you to buy rental real estate, so they give you these amazing write-offs. But depreciation is one that many people don't really fully understand or know about. So one reason why I'm excited, we're saving some money and our clients are saving some money. All right, number 2, I want to talk about real cash flow. So when I would visit owners' living rooms to talk about their rental property, we would get into a discussion a lot of times that was something like this. Well, Steve, my mortgage is $2,000. Let's just say for rough numbers. Mortgage is $2,000. And the rent's only going to be $1,800, you're telling me, right? So I'm going to be negative $200 a month. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. That's negative. It's not good. But let me flip that for you for a minute. So 2 things. First, there's 2 types of markets. There's cash flow markets and appreciation markets. And you got to decide which one you want to be invested in. So let's look at cash flow markets first. There's places like Memphis, Tennessee, places in Texas. You can buy a house for 80 grand, 100 grand, cheap, 150 grand. And in 15 years, a $150,000 house will be worth $160,000. You're not going to get any appreciation. You're going to get some cash flow, but things still break. You know, you might be cash flow positive, $300, $400, $500 a month, but ACs go out, tenants don't pay. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in cash flow markets that are beating their head against the wall because they go through all the pains of management and owning rental properties sometimes if they manage it themselves, and don't get to really ever capture any major appreciation. But then there's San Diego, America's finest city, where we're just on a tear as far as appreciation, and it's going to go up, 5% conservatively on average over the life of the real estate. So that was a preface. Now let me take a step back to this negative 200. But what people don't realize is that part of this mortgage payment, $2,000, probably, let's just say for rough numbers, probably about 500 is principal. What does that mean? It means 500 goes to pay off the debt to the bank if you have a loan, and then the other 1,500 goes to interest. So the 1,500 that goes to interest, you get to write off. Power of real estate number 1. But the 500 is still your money. It goes to the debt pay down, so that is, you keep that money in the form of equity in your house, right? Equity. So you're not losing that $500. So really, that's not really true. It's true from a cash flow perspective that you have an outlay of $2,000. That's real. Cash flow cycles are real, and you need to understand them. But from an investment perspective, your real payment is only $1,500. Does that make sense? So you're actually $300 positive a month. A lot of people don't think about this. And it's something that you need to think about, because when you go to sell, there are reasons to sell, but before you go to sell, you need to really look at this and understand that you're in probably a lot better position than you thought you were. All right, let me speed things up a little bit. Number 3, a little squiggly line there. Number 3, we are talking about appreciation. And I kind of touched on this, the 2 types of markets. But man, let's just say you didn't even know about this. Let's just say it is $200. Let's say you have an interest-only mortgage. You're not paying any principal down. You're losing $200 a month. Okay. What is that per year? It's $2,400. Ouch. If you got family and you're trying to make ends meet, especially, I mean, can you afford the rental? I mean, it's not even taking into account something breaks major, it could be, let's say you have a ton of expenses, and not only is it that, but you had a bunch of repairs. Let's say it's $5,000 per year. And let's use this example. So this is a $400,000 home, right? $300,000 for the house, $100,000 for the lot. I'm gonna get my calculator because I'm not a math person. $400K. Let's say conservative appreciation. The markets went up 10%, 12%, 15%. Let's just say conservative per year, 5%. $20,000 on 400. I should have been able to do that without the calculator, sorry. So, $20,000. Now, that's not cash in your pocket today until you sell, but it is what? A form of equity. So, even with the $5,000 loss, you have a bunch of repairs, you're upset, it's costing you money, you just made $15,000 on your investment. I'm excited, fired up. I'm really fired up. We got to get more people to buy more property. Number 4, leverage. You want to know the dirty little secret in real estate? This $400,000 house, it's not even your money. You probably put 20% down. You probably put 100, $80,000, $100,000 down, and you finance the rest. That's the power of leverage. And the dirty little secret part about that is you got the 5% appreciation rate we were talking about. I can't write today. Hopefully you can see this. But 5% appreciation, that wasn't on the money you put down. That's not like, oh, I'm making $5,000 on my $80,000 that I put down on my down payment, because right, that was all your cash outlay was, right? You made 5% on the whole shebang. Shebang. Wish I could spell shebang. I would write it. Isn't that exciting? It wasn't even your money to begin with. You only put down 80. The bank financed the rest, but you get to earn 5% on the whole enchilada. Exciting. All right. I'm getting really excited now. Number 5. This is like the part that I love more than anything. Try to spell correctly today. Wealth creator. Why are we in real estate? Why do we decide to rent the property after we move out of it or buy a rental? Because it creates wealth. But the really exciting part is a little carrot I like to put here. Generational wealth creator. If this didn't make sense to you and you're like, Steve, that's over my head, or I don't agree with that, or whatever, it all comes down to this little puppy right here, which for a simple man like me, I like to think about, which says, if I did nothing else for my family other than pay off this rental and hold it for 30 years, I would have created generational wealth. So I could start a business, lose the business, I could lose my job, I could do all sorts of things, but if I could just hold on to this rental property, get all of these amazing advantages, I'm gonna be able to create generational wealth, because this $400,000 house in 30 years, it's gonna have a lot of zeros behind it. It's gonna be worth $4 million. So you've done your job, you've created generational wealth for your family. You've done it using other people's money and using leverage. You've captured all the appreciation that you're gonna get in San Diego, because only more people are gonna come and wanna live here, the most beautiful place in America. We know about real cash flow, where your payment is applied to, part of your payment is applied to principal, which means you're actually in a better cash flow position from an investment standpoint than you thought. And you get a ton of write-offs to save money every time you do your taxes. Man, I'm happy, and I hope you're happy too, and I hope this gave you something to think about. If we can help you buy more property, analyze your current property, or just do anything, we'd love to help you. That's what we're here for. We're go-givers. Good Life Property Management. Owner-broker Steve Welty. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.